Congratulations.
Ah, thank you.
Major. We got the hardware over here.
Yes, we do. The good stuff.
Very exciting. Okay, so from you, how would you describe your experience in Paris?
I'd consider it bittersweet. The high of winning the 100 meters, gaining the title of world's fastest man, that's probably, something that people dream of every year, and, solidifying yourself as, being the winner. You faced all the odds and you beat everybody and you won. That's, it's stuff people write stories and make movies about. And, you're on top of the world, and then a few days later, and then learning I have COVID, I'm just like, wow, I had so many more goals than just winning one, and now I'm just fighting to get another. It's a very bittersweet moment.
You really rode the wave of every emotion.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. I don't even think now I've fully rode out all the waves. It still kind of comes and goes at times.
Yeah. How have you been celebrating?
Well, I'm going to Universal Studios tomorrow.
That's fun.
With me and my girlfriend and a few other family friends. We're going to go have some fun, and I think that's going to be like our first celebration. Of course, we partied a little bit while we were in Paris after I figured I was COVID negative.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, so far that's kind of been what we've been doing so far, and then of course doing all these wonderful interviews.
Yeah.
Just a gold medal tour. Is celebrating the fact that, we're bringing back the gold medal 100 meters title to the U.S.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, Noah. So a video I saw of you were doing some self-talk before racing.
Yeah.
Really cool. I do that too all the time when I'm like going into something serious. Obviously nothing like the Olympics, but one of the biggest races of your life. You're going into this, you're doing this self-talk. Talk to me about what's going on in your mind. Is that something you routinely do?
It's not so much, I would say, routine. It's kind of just, if it's needed, then I'll do it. It was more of a situation where I'm a big believer that if you're saying to yourself that I need to get in these last few blocks or these last few runs, then you're not prepared. Everything that you've done leading up to it, that's what prepares you. Now that you're here, you're just executing, you're just actually performing what you've practiced. So every time that I'm up on big stages, I'm just constantly asking God, thank you for this opportunity, and please allow me to be able to do what I know I've trained for. Yeah. And it's just, and that's where everybody, I think they were zooming in on my mouth, and they just caught me in the moment of thanking God in that moment for what I was about to do and what He's allowed me to do.
Do you lean into your faith extra in those moments?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But even when I'm not in those moments, I lean in when the times are good and when the times are bad.
Yeah.
I would say.
I always say, like, God's tired of me, because I'm literally like,
oh, never.
Dear God, please let me make that nail appointment. Like,
I know. He's tired of me asking, God, please let me find my keys and my wallet. I know they're around here somewhere. I know I'm close.
Yes,
just
me.
Please, God, I need you.
This is me. I'm calling in favors all day long, so the Lord is tired of us. But,
no, He's not. He wants us to call upon Him.
I agree. One thing you wrote on X, I have asthma, allergies, dyslexia, ADD, anxiety, and depression, but I will tell you, what you have does not define what you can become. Why not you? Yeah. Such a beautiful message. Such a beautiful message.
Well, thank you.
What were you hoping to inspire in others in that?
To be honest, I was hoping to inspire the younger me. I remember those time periods when I was going through school and I felt so dumb and so unintelligent because I have dyslexia and ADD and I struggle to take tests, and I just felt so stupid being in that environment. And later coming out of that environment and learning that I have all these beautiful skills, and the way that I attack problems is seen as unorthodox but very wanted. It was very weird for me to have that huge shift, and even having these talents as a track and field athlete, at the time you just seemed like a dumb jock, and having all these labels put upon you is, I feel, so hard as a child because you don't even know what you want to be yet. But having that idea that no matter what I become, I know that it's not always going to be hard, and just because it is hard doesn't mean that I can't shoot for the stars.
We really need to remove the labels. It's a problem.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of labels. That's why I don't try to label myself.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a guy who just runs in half a circle for a living.
I get it. I get it. Well, I loved that, and I love that you were talking to us, but really to yourself, which is such a nice message. Let's talk about the 100-meter race. Holy cow! Like when I tell you,
yeah, right.
The way you had us, unforgettable in that moment.
Oh, that was the goal.
It was so epic. When did you know that you won?
As soon as my name came up on the screen.
Okay.
No, I was along the ride with everybody else. As much confidence as I could say, oh yeah, I knew I won. Come on now. We all saw how close the race was. None of us knew who won, you know. Later talking to Kashane Thompson, he was telling me he thought I won. And, you know, and at the end of the race, I came up to him and I was like, I think you got that, big dog. And, you know, we didn't know. Nobody knew. It was so close.
I mean, the way I was clutching my pearls, let me tell you, I was like, the stress. But your mom's reaction was everything. What a proud mama. I can't imagine what it must have meant to you to not only win that for yourself, but also for the woman that has been by your side the whole time.
No, I have a very supportive team, and my mom is a part of that. My momager, as some people know her to be, she's been most of the reason why I've been able to go out and achieve my dream. She sacrificed and put her goals and ambitions for her children up front so that we could go out and shoot for the stars and go for everything to the best of our ability. And you know, something that she would tell us when we were young is her job is to go out there and make sure that everything you need to run is there. So all you have to do is run and train, and that's it.
That's cool. Your mom is besties with Snoop now.
I know, right?
Is he coming to Christmas?
I mean, I think we're going to his Christmas. No, yeah, they've definitely become close. I mean, it's funny because people are like, how do you know Snoop? I was like, I'm going to be honest, I haven't met the guy yet. My mom knows Snoop at the moment. But I did meet him.
Okay,
yes, we do now know we have each other's number and stuff like that. He's an amazing guy. He's a really down-to-earth guy, and it's nice to have, to be honest, a black role model to be able to say, hey, how have you traversed your journey, and what can I learn from you in that respect? And at the same time, you're just a cool guy. It's nice to see. It's nice to hang out with somebody who has that joy around them.
He totally is just like the epitome of joy, and he was having so much fun at the Olympics. I loved the mama time that he spent. It was great. Yeah. You talked about COVID earlier on in the interview. You mentioned it. But so you win the gold, riding a high. It's all great, but you know you have more races. You find out you have COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot imagine how your heart must have just sank. Was there any shot that you were not going to run the 200?
I mean, the only thing that I would say that would stop me was the rules, for sure. We were in a situation where, as a competitor, I'm thinking, I only have one shot. Nothing's promised tomorrow. And I worked so hard to get to today. So if it's in the ability to happen, I'm going to take it. The rules were very clear. If you don't have a fever while having COVID, then you're allowed to compete. I never had a fever during the whole time, but I was quarantined. They moved me out of the village into a hotel. The doctors checked on me every hour. I was given tons of medication, including the COVID medication. What I figured out is very expensive, by the way. I did not know that.
Yes.
And not only that, but it's amazing. It quickly gets rid of most of the symptoms, and it shortens the amount of time that you have COVID. So I was very shocked on how active it was, but it's still, there's always gonna, it can't take care of everything. So we were very cautious of how we went through everything, and even leading up to the end where I got the medal and, went to the medal ceremony, I asked, the athletes if they were comfortable, and the people presenting the medals if they were comfortable with me coming, because I didn't want a situation where anybody felt uneasy and it ruins their Olympic moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, despite having COVID, you still medal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It literally looked like it took everything out of you. How proud of yourself are you?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I literally was talking to my therapist and I said, by the end of this race, if I haven't passed out on the floor, then I don't feel that I gave enough. And it was something I knew I was going to have to give everything for, to obtain at least one. or any medal. And I'm extremely impressed with myself because I never thought I'd be in that situation before. I've had COVID over the last 3 years, at least twice, and it always just was the week before a championship where I got it, but it's never been where I actually had it in the middle of the competition. And for a moment there, I thought it was over, and I contemplated I could stop. It was like, I did enough.
Right.
But I knew to myself that I would not be okay with saying that because of the younger me that said, I want everything, and saying, I don't think I would be okay saying I did enough. I've never done anything to say I did enough.
Yeah.
And I hope that's what everybody says when they go after their dreams. It's not about giving enough. It's about giving your 100%. No matter if you achieve it or not, if you gave your 100%, then you should be satisfied with what you did.
Well, you did it, and you brought home multiple medals. I mean, what is there left to achieve here? There's so much. It's such a big moment, you know, but obviously I'm sure you have big plans for yourself.
Yeah, I have many big plans. I want to show my sport to the world. I want it to be entertaining just as much. I want people to say, hey, I want to go to a track meet, and just as much as that, I want to be able to go to other events and say, hey, Noah Lyles is here, and he's cheering on, you know, his, friend or athlete that he found new respect for at the Olympics, and be able to give platforms for when I leave, whoever decides to come after me does not have a hard time trying to fit themselves in. It's like, I open the door, now you can run through it.
Yeah, 100%. I keep saying, I feel like right now, this Olympics has shown so much youth what they are capable of, and I don't feel like we've had an Olympics like this in quite some time. So I'm excited to see how people like you affect the youth in the next 10 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, because we haven't had a moment like this in a long time. It's been very rough for our country.
It has been. I mean, it's been rough for the world.
Yeah.
Truly, I was just in another interview, and we were talking about how just mental health kind of affects the world, and seeing differences of opinions. And I think one of my good abilities is to be able to look at everybody's opinion and maybe say, I might not understand how you got there or why you believe that, but I can understand that we're just different. And just because we're different doesn't mean that it's bad. Maybe we just have to find a common ground within each other to figure out how to move forward.
And we're all human, and there's common ground to be found somewhere.
Definitely all human. We all make mistakes. I make them all the time.
Same.
Truly.
Same. So finally, before we wrap this up, you mentioned a movie earlier on in this interview. If there were a movie about Noah Lyles, who's playing you?
I'm playing me.
This reminds me of Snoop. We asked him who was on the background of his phone, and he goes, me. I love me some Snoop.
Yeah, I mean, that's the background of my phone.
It's
me,
you.
and then my girlfriend.
That's hysterical. Okay, and finally, we know you love fashion.
Yeah.
Are we going to see you on some fashion runways? Would we ever see a Noah Lyles fashion line?
I truly wish to be able to put together my own fashion line, not actually sports focused, but actually casual wear focused. Someday, for sure, we'll somehow get that. I've always believed that I'm one phone call away from the person I need to get in touch with. So one day I'm gonna figure out that phone call, and I'm gonna make a call, and we're gonna get it done.
Okay, could we get like Pharrell on the line? He's like making Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, I know.
Thing.
Yeah, and he's been a big sponsor with Adidas.
Yes.
I have a feeling I already know the person to call for that one.
Okay.
So, that might happen a little quicker than we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually sent me a bag for, winning my gold medal. And I was like, oh shoot.
Pharrell did?
Yeah. He sent me a Louis Vuitton bag and a personal note, and I was like, oh wow, I feel honored.
What? That is so sweet.
He's such a multi-talented guy. He's actually living one of my dreams. He's getting a biopic in the Lego movie format. I'm like, I want that. I want that for my life.
Wait, that's so cool.
Oh, you haven't heard?
No, I'm sure I should know that, but I didn't know that.
No, he has a commercial and everything. You got to go look it up.
How cool is that?
No, it's really